welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're zeroing in on something we often see, but maybe don't always really notice. And that's the role of color in architectural facades.
It's everywhere, isn't it?
Absolutely. We've got a fascinating collection of projects from all over the world, actually. They're featured in the book Color in Architecture Facade.
Right.
And our mission really is to go beyond just, looking at pretty buildings.
Yeah.
We want to understand how architects are intentionally using color, like as a powerful tool.
It's definitely more than just paint.
Exactly. How it influences perception, how buildings function, even how they connect with their surroundings.
There's some amazing examples in that book, really diverse.
Yeah, you shared some incredible ones. I'm excited to sort of unpack the insights here.
Me too. Because color in architecture, it works on so many levels.
How so?
Well, it can be quite subliminal sometimes,
Yeah.
shaping how you feel about a place without you even realizing.
Right, that subconscious effect.
Or it can be this really bold, deliberate statement. Bang!
Demanding attention.
Exactly. And these examples, they really show that whole spectrum, from subtle integration to really dramatic impact.
Okay, so we'll see how thoughtful color choices affect identity, usability.
And its place in the bigger picture, the context.
Yeah. All right, let's maybe start with the big picture then. The preface of the book mentioned some big shifts recently.
Yeah, technology's been a huge driver.
It sounds like the last decade or so has been a real game changer for building exteriors.
Oh, definitely. New materials have come along that are, well, cheaper, for one,
Always helpful.
and more durable. They hold color much better, more consistently.
So things like UV stable paints, the ones that don't fade.
Exactly. Those and polymer-based colors, coated metal panels, even colored glass is being used in all sorts of ways now.
Glass spandrels, transparent, opaque.
Right. Putting color right onto the facade with glass. And then there's digital printing.
So you can print complex patterns directly onto materials.
Pretty much anything. On various surfaces, it allows for incredibly detailed applications.
Yeah. That opens up a lot of possibilities.
It really does. And what's interesting is the timing of all this. The book suggests it marks a move away from that very restrained look.
The chromatically understated minimalism.
That's the phrase. Yeah, the kind of thing that dominated the 90s.
The beige era.
Sort of, yeah. Or lots of gray and white. But now there seems to be this renewed appreciation for color.
But not just as decoration.
No, not just an afterthought. It's seen as really integral to the architectural concept itself.
Using it in more meaningful ways.
Yeah, more intelligent, maybe provocative, definitely more serious ways, recognizing its fundamental role.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. The projects themselves.
Sounds good.
How about we start in Toluca, Mexico? The Nestlé Chocolate Museum by Rojkind Arquitectos.
Ah, yes, the red one.
A very red one, it seems. The first phase apparently needed this massive 640-meter-long facade, and it had to be visible from the main highway into Paseo Tolocan. That's a giant canvas.
And they went bold. That ground-level facade, the one facing the highway.
Yeah.
Bright red.
Why red, do you think? Beyond just visibility.
Well, think about the intention. It wasn't just look at our factory.
Right.
They wanted to create a kind of cultural anchor, a landmark. Give the Nestle HQ a whole new image.
Right, like a cultural space and brand identity rolled into one.
Exactly. And red. Well, it's energetic, exciting, kind of fits with the chocolate brand, maybe?
Playful, but strong. Makes sense. Creates a memorable presence.
Definitely memorable.
Okay, next up, Hilversum in the Netherlands. The Netherlands Institute for Sound and Vision.
Ah, the archive building.
Yeah, holding all the Dutch radio and TV history. The facade sounds incredible. Over 2,100 colored, high-relief images.
In ceramic paste, glazed onto glass panels. It's like a modern stained glass.
How did they even do that?
It was a technique developed specifically for this project, which is fascinating in itself.
Really?
Yeah. It took stills from videos, then used a CNC computer.
A computer-controlled milling machine.
Right, to mill the image onto MDF panels, which then became the mold.
Okay.
Then they applied this ceramic paste into the mold, heated it up in an oven.
And out pops a colored 3D glass panel.
Exactly. Durable, UV-resistant. It's literally history embedded onto the skin of the building. Technology enabling storytelling.
That's amazing. What a concept.
It really is something else.
Okay, complete change of pace now. And the Millimeter Shop, Seoul, South Korea.
Right? High-end fashion, busy commercial area.
Yeah, an area undergoing lots of change. And the design seems to be about blurring lines, natural and artificial.
That's the core idea. Not a confrontation, but an amalgamation. Seamless integration.
How does that translate visually?
Well, they used a lot of bamboo landscaping on 3 sides, sort of softens the edges with the neighbors.
Okay, natural elements.
Then you've got dark bamboo, a dark brown glazed first floor, quite grounded.
Contrasting with...
Organically shaped seating, undulating dark brown concrete forms, and then the main facade.
What's that like?
It's covered in a living green textile, planted with herbaceous perennials.
A green wall.
Pretty much. And the other 3 sides are clad in steel sheets, so it's this interplay of textures, subtle colors, creating a sense of calm in a really busy spot.
Interesting. Okay, let's hop over to Bilbao, Spain. Hotel Hesperia Bilbao.
Ah, the colorful grid.
Yeah, it sounds almost playful. A 6x6 grid of lookout units.
And the colors seem random at first glance, don't they?
Right. It uses the 3 primary colors, red, yellow, blue, and their complementaries, green, violet, orange.
Ah.
Seemingly scattered.
But the effect is actually quite harmonious.
How so? It doesn't look chaotic.
Surprisingly, no. During the day, the book says it actually blends really well with the urban surroundings.
Yeah.
It's like the complexity of the palette creates this overall visual texture, so no single color dominates. It integrates rather than shouts.
Clever. Visual noise canceling itself out, almost.
Kind of, yeah.
Next, West Bromwich in the UK. The Public. Envisioned as a box of delights.
Love that name.
Me too. The facade is clad in these large, curved, stainless steel panels.
Right. Quite sleek.
But then it's punctured by these scattered jelly bean-shaped windows.
With colored glass.
Exactly. Adds pops of color to the metallic surface.
And those windows aren't just decorative, are they?
No. Apparently they pierce the sides in a way that helps support the visitor arrival area.
So they're structural, too.
Seems so. The facade acts as a self-supporting secondary structure. Color integrated with function again.
Really inventive. Love it.
Let's shift gears. Something more whimsical. Takatuka-land Kindergarten in Berlin.
Ah, the Pippi Longstocking one.
That's right. What's special here is that the kids actually had input into the design.
Which is brilliant for a kindergarten.
And the building itself is designed to feel like it's emerging from an existing tree.
Creating this interactive construction, they used green wooden slats and yellow textile.
To make a flexible play area.
Yeah. And those colors, green and yellow, weren't random.
Right.
They were chosen specifically to evoke Pippi Longstocking's Takatuka-land.
The kids' imagined world.
Exactly. Architecture directly reflecting a child's imagination. It's lovely.
Very cool. Okay, now for something quite different. Conhouse 2 plus Climb Fear. Exploring alternative housing.
Right, the container houses. Location isn't specified. Maybe Slovenia?
Possibly. It uses prefab, 2-level units, shipping containers placed perpendicular,
A modular approach.
and the prototype exterior. Painted metallic gray, but with magenta circles.
Bold accent.
And the color use continues inside too, right?
Yeah, different schemes for different areas. Red and black in the living room, yellow and green on the ground floor.
And that magenta reappears.
It does, using a special durable foil. The kind you see on car stickers. Playful but practical use of color throughout.
Interesting application in modular housing. Okay, back to big city architecture. Blue residential tower, New York City.
The name gives it away, doesn't it?
Pretty much. A very distinctive facade using blue glass panels.
But not just one blue,
No, that's the key, varying shades of blue.
which makes all the difference. It creates this dynamic surface, not monolithic.
Adds depth, texture.
Exactly. And a sense of movement as the light hits it. Plus, it interacts with the sky more subtly.
Nice. Okay, back across the pond. Lelystad, the Netherlands.
Yeah.
The Agora Theater.
Described as kaleidoscopic, unpredictable.
Sounds intriguing, and the exterior color actually changes.
Yeah, it shifts gradually
Oh.
from violet to crimson, then cherry, and almost white. A gradient effect.
Wow. Is there a reason for that specific shift?
Apparently, it's influenced by the horse show jumping arena inside the building.
No way.
Yeah, so there's this emphasis on red, the intimate feel of the auditoriums, reinforced by the horseshoe balcony shape and the vibrant acoustic panels inside.
A whole color story connecting inside and out.
A cohesive narrative.
Staying in the Netherlands but moving to Almere. Offices Les Defense.
The one with the fins?
Right. Metallic facade, external fins fixed vertically within the mullions.
And the cool thing is how the color of those fins seems to change.
Depending on the time of day
Yeah.
and your viewing angle.
Precisely. The metallic surface plays with the light, so you see shifts from yellow to blue to red or green to black.
A dynamic, ever-changing facade. Very responsive.
Constantly in flux.
Let's revisit Seoul. Galleria Hall West. A department store refurbishment.
Aiming for a more luxurious feel. And the facade was key.
Key is an understatement. 4,330 glass discs.
Few discs, yeah. Sandblasted laminated glass with a special dichroic foil.
Dichroic foil, like those materials that shift color depending on the angle?
Exactly. They're hung from a metal substructure over the original concrete facade.
So they must shimmer and change constantly.
They do. The color they show, the light they absorb, it all changes with the weather, the atmosphere.
Wow.
And wait, there's more. Each disc has an LED behind it.
Seriously? So they can control the color?
And the light emission. They can even project transformed video onto the facade at night.
That's incredible. A truly interactive building skin.
Phenomenal piece of work.
Okay, Toronto, Canada. The Sharp Center for Design, OCAD.
Ah, the tabletop on legs.
Huh? Yes, that's a good description. A bold rectangular block lifted up on these brightly colored pilates, the columns,
Really strong visual.
and the upper part, clad in black and white, raised aluminum panels, like a pixelated batter.
Yeah, black squares and rectangles.
But there's another color element too, isn't there?
Yes, that distinct bright red diagonal slice.
The soffit on the south side.
Right. Custom red aluminum, the bold pilates, the stark black and white, that pop of red. It's instantly recognizable, a real landmark.
Definitely makes a statement. Okay, down under. Melbourne, Australia. Templestowe Park Primary School.
Needed a new hall, budget constraints.
Right, so a mix of materials, brick, semi-translucent sheet, paint cladding, trying to soften the building's upright feel with simple lines and pure colors.
And the colors they chose are interesting. Very deliberate.
How so?
They use sharp contrasts between loud colors that directly reference the Australian Olympic stripe textbook brand.
Oh, really? Something familiar to the kids and community.
Exactly. And they even incorporated colors from a local football team onto the street-facing facade.
So using color for branding, but also local identity and connection.
Yeah, creating that sense of community ownership. Smart.
Back to Spain. La Orotava, Tenerife, Rafael Errázuriz High School.
This one's about blending in, integrating with the surroundings.
Right, the urban layout, but also the natural topography of the valley.
And they used color quite subtly to achieve that.
How?
The concrete layers of the facade have this degraded wash of different tones.
Like a watercolor effect.
Sort of, yeah. It softens the building's mass, helps it merge with both the town and the more rural landscape around it, starting from the outside edges in.
Very sensitive approach.
Mm-hmm.
Next, BMPS in Beijing, a mixed-use project. Tall residential towers over commercial bases.
80-meter high towers.
And the color strategy for those towers.
Quite distinct. Contrasting black and white stone blocks.
In a repeated pattern.
Yeah. Creates this strong visual rhythm, adds texture to those tall forms, bold but simple, gives them a clear identity.
Got it. Okay, Singapore now. Clarkway redevelopment, historic district.
Big focus on climate responsiveness here. Shading, cooling.
And a key part of reviving the riverfront were these elevated dining platforms.
Lily pads, yeah. Covered by these colorful tensile fabric structures.
Like giant umbrellas?
Kind of, but they provide essential shade, help with cooling, and they're visually striking.
Especially at night.
Oh, yeah. They're illuminated with all sorts of vibrant colors, really brings the place alive, respects the history, but adds this modern, colorful energy.
Sounds great. Munich, Germany, Brandhorst Museum.
Now this facade is something else.
36,000 ceramic rods.
In 23 different colors, and varying widths and depths too.
Wow. What's the effect of all that?
Incredibly dynamic. The colors seem to shift and change depending on where you stand, what the light's doing.
Almost like it's alive.
It has that feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
A surface full of subtle color nuances. Very sophisticated.
Okay, something more conceptual. Klein Bottle House in Rye, Australia.
Ah, topology and architecture.
Right. Inspired by complex mathematical surfaces, like Mobius strips.
But the exterior is just black.
Stark black corrugated iron, yeah.
It's all about the contrast, isn't it?
Seems so. That almost monolithic black exterior versus a light-filled interior.
And inside.
There's a prominent red carpet. A strong visual line leading you through the space. So the exterior color emphasizes the complex form, while interior color directs movement.
Precisely. Limited palette, maximum impact.
Fontainebleau, France. Addition to the Center for Contemporary Archives.
Main job. Store archives safely. So heavy construction needed.
And the facade. A simple rectangular shape.
Clad in a green windbreak forest net.
A knit.
Yeah. Practical function helps regulate temperature and airflow for the archives.
But visual.
Gives it this distinct, slightly unexpected look, almost lets it blend into the trees around it. Functional and contextual.
Interesting choice. Okay, back to the UK, Birmingham, Fort Dunlop.
Regeneration of an old tire factory from the 1920s.
Right. They added a new roof structure, a penthouse level in a glass box.
But the big color move was painting the original building.
What color?
A really strong blue.
The whole thing.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Took this derelict industrial building and gave it a powerful new identity. Signaled its rebirth, made it a landmark again.
Color is transformation.
Absolutely.
Montreal, Canada. Expansion of the Palais des Congrès, the convention center.
New main facade here, multicolored glass panels.
And the intention was clear.
Oh yeah. Create a public landmark. An icon for the city.
And the multicolored glass does that.
Definitely. Brings energy, visual interest to a massive public building, makes it stand out, contributes to Montreal's character. Plus, the light inside must be amazing.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, Isola, Slovenia, social housing project.
Affordable apartments for young families built on a hill.
Each apartment has a veranda, visually connected to the inside.
And they use these semi-transparent textile shapes.
With holes in them, for sun shading and air.
Right. Ingenious, really. Dual function.
Practical benefits, but what about visual?
They create cool effects inside and out, allow views, but add this layer of color. Apparently makes the small rooms feel bigger.
And different colors for different units.
Yeah, adds individual character while contributing to the overall look. Smart and efficient.
Heading to Oxford University now. The biochemistry department.
New building, facade mixing terracotta and colored glass fins.
Glass fins.
Yeah, and this rich palette reds, terracotta, orange, brown, plum.
Where do those colors come from?
Inspired by the historic buildings nearby in Oxford, contextual colors.
So they add visual interest, a modern touch.
But also create these constantly shifting patterns of light and shadow inside the building, connecting old and new.
Nice. Almost there. West Hollywood, California. Habitat 825.
Right next to Schindler's King's Roadhouse. Big shoes to fill.
Definitely. And it draws inspiration from Schindler's use of light and materials.
Concrete form, vertical green elements described as rhymes and bodies, emphasizing shadow.
Green elements add some color.
A touch, yeah. Adds texture, too. But a lot of the design is about manipulating light.
Like the white lights bouncing into the courtyard.
Exactly. Using light and shadow to shape the space, highlight the form. Color is more subtle here.
Okay, final project. Lace Apartments. Nova Gorica, Slovenia. Near the Italian border.
Designed for hot summers. So lots of balconies, terraces, pergolas.
And these are clad or glazed in different ways.
Yeah, various screens, transparent glass, metal, solid panels, different heights. Creates variety.
And the color palette.
Inspired by local earth tones. Apparently the building got nicknamed Pajamas.
Huh? Because of the earthy stripes or panels?
Must be. So it's functional for the climate, visually interesting with the varied balconies, and the color ties it to its local context.
A lot going on there.
Definitely.
Okay. Wow. That was quite a tour. Stepping back from all these amazing examples.
Yeah.
Some key things really stand out, don't they? It's so clear that color in architecture is, well, it's anything but accidental.
Absolutely not. It's a very deliberate design choice. Hugely powerful.
It defines identity, responds to the surroundings,
Enhances function managing light and heat, like we saw.
and connects with the community, with history.
It's amazing the range we saw. From super bold branding, like Nestle's Red or the PUMA containers,
Right, instant recognition.
to really nuanced approaches. Blending in, like the Raphael or Arena School, or evoking emotions, like the Anne de Mulmeister shot.
And the technology. That Netherlands Institute facade.
Incredible. And the dynamic uses, like Hotel Hesperia or Galleria Hall West, where the color shifts with light or perspective.
Color is just such a versatile tool for architects.
It really, really is a fundamental part of the palette.
And for you listening, hopefully this sparks a new way of looking at the buildings around you.
Yeah, next time you're out, really look at the colors.
Have you ever thought about the process behind those choices? The impact they have on how you experience that place?
Developing that awareness, it just enriches how you see the built environment. You notice these hidden decisions.
Color can make a building inviting or memorable or just feel right in its spot.
Which leads to a fascinating thought, doesn't it?
Go on.
With all these advances in materials, digital fabrication, what's next? What new roles could color play?
You mean beyond aesthetics or basic function?
Yeah. Could buildings become even more responsive through color? Maybe communicating information visually.
Reacting to the environment in ways we haven't even thought of.
Exactly. Could a facade change color to show energy usage or air quality?
Hmm.
Or just create constantly evolving public art?
Wow. That opens up a whole new dimension.
It really does. This deep dive, it feels like just scratching the surface. There's a whole spectrum of possibilities still out there.